of all, distribution of, who is still talking? Distribution of reserves, accumulated profits and losses. Now, why they distributed? Understand the logic first of all. Suppose, first of all, what is reserve? What is the meaning of reserve?
The amount kept from the
Amount kept aside from the profits of the business. Okay. Now, suppose Amruta, Pooja and Khushali are partners in the ratio of 3:2:1. And now they decide from tomorrow the ratio will be 1:2:3. Now suppose reserves are created in the past. 3 years ago, they transferred 10,000 to reserve from profits of the business. If 3 years ago, they would not have transferred that 10,000 to reserve, then 3 years ago they would have withdrawn that profit. Then they would have distributed that profit between them in which ratio? That is 3:2:1. Okay. Similarly, 3 years ago or 2 years ago, suppose some fictitious asset or loss is there in the business, like advertisement suspense account is a fictitious asset. So if that loss is there in the business and from tomorrow they are going to change the ratio, if they would not have treated it as an asset but as an expense and debited to P&L account in that year itself, what you do in fictitious asset is you don't debit entire amount to P&L account. You debit some amount and remaining you carry forward on the asset side. If they would have debited entire amount to P&L account in that year, then Renuka, in which ratio they would have distributed that P&L account's loss?
3:2:1.
Be attentive to what is going on. 3:2:1. Are you okay with it? Now when the reconstruction is taking place, then the partners will take away those reserves, accumulated profits and losses. The logic is, in past, if there is a profit and they transfer to reserve, means they did not withdraw that profit, they sacrificed the profits and kept the amount in business itself. But now the ratio is changing, so they should take away that amount in the old ratio itself. Same way in past, if any loss has occurred, if they have not distributed that loss still and showing it on the asset side, then now from tomorrow the ratio is going to change. So any past losses should be distributed between the partners in the same old ratio. So normally this act is done whenever reconstruction of partnership takes place. Whatever are the past accumulated profits, losses, etc., they distributed in the which ratio? Old ratio. The partners distributed between themselves in old ratio. Understood this portion? So first write down the note, then we'll see the entries. At the time of reconstruction of partnership, any past reserves, accumulated profits, or losses will be distributed between the partners in old ratio. Underline the word old ratio. Any confusion in this? Why is it done in old ratio? All are clear with this? Because it is all because of past efforts. So it will be done in old ratio. Now next line, write down. Following entries will be passed for the same. Following entries will be passed for the same. Now understand the entries for reserves and accumulated profits. Now, accumulated profits means the profit and loss account itself will be there, and profit and loss account, accumulated profit means it will have credit balance. Okay, accumulated profit means profit and loss account will have which balance?
Credit balance.
And therefore, will it appear on asset side or liability side? Liability side. When we solve the long questions of next chapters, such profit and loss account will be appearing on liability side. We will call it as accumulated profits. Got it, everyone? Now what entries will pass? The reserves and this accumulated profits, everything has which balance? Credit balance. Reserves also always have credit balance, and this I already mentioned that it has credit balance. So what should we do to close them? Reverse and debit. So reserves are like general reserve is possible, that you will close and debit. Capital reserve is possible. Last year we studied all this in chapter 9. Credit balance you will close and debit. Reserve fund is possible, that you will close and debit. Last year we studied, when do we use the word fund? Raise your hand. When do we use the word fund along with the yes? When the reserve kept aside is invested outside the business activities, we use the word reserve fund. If you reinvest in your business itself, we used to call it as plowing back of profits. But when you invest that money outside the business activities, then we use the word reserve fund. Anyway, no relevance in this chapter. Was just testing your knowledge of the reserve fund. Further, contingency reserve is possible. So contingency reserve account also you will reverse and debit. All these are credit balance. Now, regarding workmen, two things are possible. Be attentive. One is profit sharing fund. The other one is compensation fund. Out of these two, one is a liability and one is a reserve. Out of these two, one is a reserve and one is a liability. Raise your hand. Which one you feel is a reserve and is a liability? Which one you feel, because knowledge you don't have right now. So which one you feel is a reserve and which one you feel is a liability? Raise your hand.
Not your.
Disha?
Profit sharing fund and compensation.
Both are reserve.
Profit sharing is fund and compensation is reserve.
But I did not ask that question only. I asked you a question. Which one is a reserve and which one is a liability? Profit is liability and compensation is reserves. Silence, Renuka.
Compensation is liability and profit sharing fund is reserve.
Who all go with this alternative? Compensation is liability and profit sharing is reserve. And who all go with the option that profit sharing is a reserve? Sorry, liability and compensation is a reserve. No one.
Disha.
Disha. You say that profit sharing is a liability. Asset. Now listen carefully. All of you are wrong. This is a reserve and this is a liability. Yes, silence. Definitely. Varun, be attentive. The names, therefore I ask you, what do you feel? Because the names itself are such. The moment you come across the word profit sharing fund, you feel like profit means it's a reserve. And the moment you come across the word compensation, You believe compensation means it must be a liability only. But it's not like that. Understand the meaning of these two. You'll automatically understand why this is a reserve and this is a liability. Compensation fund is created in the business so that in your business, if any accident takes place, damage takes place to the workers, at that time you are able to compensate them. If you don't have that money aside at that time, his life will be at risk. So suppose today accident takes place in the factory, machinery is broken down and the worker loses his leg because of that, or leg is damaged, immediate treatment is to be done. At that time you say to the worker, I'm sorry, I don't have money. Because expense will be huge at that time. You cannot do that. He is your worker, he is also an employee of your business. Employees are also assets of the business. At that time you need to help the employee at that point of time. That fund is created for that purpose. So that if any accident takes place, you are able to help the employees at the scene. Is it certain or uncertain?
Certain.
So it's a reserve. So far, no accident has taken place, then the partners will take away that money. And Amruta has all the rights to say that in future now, if any accident is going to take place, now onwards you create it in the ratio of 1:2:3. Why should she bear 3/6 in future if any accident takes place? That was our old ratio, now the new is 1/6. So that is a reserve. Compensation or claim due to accident may or may not arise. What is profit sharing fund? Like a bonus. You have committed to the workers that this much is your share in the current year's profit. Now if you have earned the profit, you have to give it to them. The only thing is generally you retain it and give it when they leave or retire, so that they remain with your business for a long period of time. So it's your liability. It's your short liability. You have to give it to them whenever they leave your business. It's like a provident fund. Did you understand this portion? So if meaning is clear, then automatically you'll understand why this is a reserve and this is a liability. By the way, remember in exams, whatever comes in your mind, do the opposite. Compensation looks like a liability, but it is a reserve. Profit sharing looks like a reserve, but it is a liability. Got it? So in the reserve will also include workmen compensation fund. One more thing. In the same example, one more point. Suppose you have created a fund of 1 lakh rupees and this year they are going into reconstruction. From 3 to 1 they are going to 1 to 3. And just before the reconstruction, 3 days before the reconstruction, accident took place. And accident took place and out of 1 lakh, 60,000 is expected that you have to give it to the worker as a compensation. Then what will they withdraw the money in old ratio? How much money they will withdraw in the old ratio? 60, 40 or full 1 lakh? I repeat my question. They have workmen compensation fund of 1 lakh in the business. Few days before the reconstruction, before they agreed to change the ratio, accident took place in the business. And in the hospital the claim is given of 60,000. Means sooner or later you have to pay that 60,000 to the hospital. Now how much amount they will withdraw from the workmen's compensation fund? 60,000. No, what amount did I say?
1 lakh.
And how much of bill is accepted?
60,000.
Then they will withdraw 40,000. 60,000 out of that fund you have to pay to the hospital.
But then
Why did they created the workmen compensation fund? So that if any accidents take place, they have to pay that. So from that fund which is created, they'll pay to the worker 60,000. How much will remain in the fund unutilized?
40,000.
That they will take it back in the old ratio, which was 3:2:1. If no claim has taken place, they will withdraw full 1 lakh. Did you understand this question, everyone? If claim has taken place, then that has become a liability. That is no more a reserve. So out of 1 lakh, 60,000 has become your liability. How much still is in the nature of reserve which you can withdraw? 40,000. And that claim has arisen before the reconstruction has taken place. So you have to pay it from that fund only. Is everyone of you clear with this portion? So keep this in mind. In case if any claim takes place, then the unclaimed amount will only be withdrawn by the partners.
But why will they withdraw?
Because reconstruction is taking place. Changes are taking place. If they don't withdraw, then in future, their past sacrificed amounts, they'll take in which ratio? 1 to 3. She'll be at a loss. Amruta will be at a loss. In past, she sacrificed 3/6 of the profit. In future, she'll get back the same in form of 1/6 only. So reserves are the profits kept aside from the business. In past, if you have kept aside any amount, then past profits you should get in the ratio of 3:2:1 only. Did everyone of you understand this portion?
Yes, sir.
And as I said, you distribute it between the partners. So you transfer it to partners capital account in old ratio. Any confusions so far? And B thing possible is the other one, accumulated losses. So for accumulated losses and also fictitious assets. What do you mean by fictitious assets?
Imaginary assets.
No.
Liquid assets.
I told you never write the meaning imaginary assets.
Unreal assets.
Unreal assets is correct. Fictitious assets are those expenses, advertisement suspense account, which are going to benefit you for a long period of time. They are expenses, but we show them on the asset side, so they are called fictitious assets. Really, they are not assets, they are expenses. But we show them on the asset side, so they are called fictitious assets. Fictitious means imaginary, but fictitious assets doesn't mean imaginary assets. Don't imagine a new designer asset is created, nothing like that. It means they are actually an expenses, but we show them on the asset side, like advertisement suspense. So we call them as fictitious assets. Are you okay with it? Now, what is this accumulated loss? Like I said, what is accumulated profit? Profit and loss accounts? Accumulated loss is profit and loss accounts,
Debit balance.
debit balance. And where will it appear?
Asset side.
It will come on the asset side of balance sheet. Is everyone clear with this? All these have debit balances. So what will you do to close them? Credit. To close them, you'll reverse and credit. And again you transfer it to?
Partners.
So partners capital account now you will
Debit.
debit. Partners capital account debit to profit and loss account and fictitious assets are possible like advertisement suspense account, or you also call it as advertisement campaign expenditure account. Campaign word comes means it's a huge expense. To research and development expense, they are also huge expenses, so we show them on the asset side. Here I forgot this profit and loss. Here P&L account would have, so to close it you would reverse and debit. To close it you would reverse and debit. Means later on in the next chapters, if P&L account comes on the, you will debit that. If it comes on the asset side, you will credit that. So these entries will be passed. This partners will distribute it, and these losses also will distribute between the partners in. Understood this portion, everyone? Write it down. The normal logical concept. If they have credit balance, to close it you reverse and debit them and transfer it to partners capital account. If they have debit balance, to close it you reverse and credit them and transfer it to partners capital.
Can you increase the temperature of
No,
Why?
because I'm very hot. So in exams from this chapter, what will come is covered. Only two topics can come in exams from this chapter in board exams. One is what we did yesterday, sacrifice ratio and gain ratio, and second is this. For 2 or 3 marks, you have only these two topics. The third topic what we'll be doing is like we'll be doing as in chapter 1. We practice P&L appropriation and capital for second chapter. So revaluation topic we'll practice for chapter 5 and 6. From this chapter it will not come in the exams. One Note will come regarding profit sharing fund. Here space in summary for evaluation.
Half of it.
Half is sufficient. Yes, write down the note. Workmen. Yes, workmen. Workmen profit sharing fund. Workmen profit sharing fund is a liability and not a reserve. Full stop. It will not be distributed between the partners. Also in this workmen's compensation fund, write down in bracket unclaimed amount. If any claim has arisen, then the partners have to bear that claim in old ratio. They cannot withdraw that money. They have to pay that from the fund itself. Whatever amount remains unclaimed can only be withdrawn. One more reserve I recollect. Write down investment fluctuation fund. That is also possible. Investment fluctuation fund account debit. And just like workmen's compensation, here also there is a point. Suppose investment fluctuation fund means what? If we have made investments in the business, we create investment fluctuation fund to meet the loss in the value of investment if any arises in future. Pina, what happened? Investment fluctuation fund is created to meet any loss in the value of investment which arises in future. Now suppose you have created a fund of 40,000 and by this year investment's value has gone down by 10,000 up till now so far. Then same like workmen's compensation fund. I repeat, suppose the investment fluctuation fund is 40,000 and by now investment's value has already gone down by 10,000. 10,000 of loss you'll meet from the fund. How much will be still remaining in the fund? That only the partners will withdraw in old age. 10,000 of loss has taken place before the reconstruction. So that loss they have to bear it in old age. So same like workmen compensation. What amount will you take from the investment fluctuation fund? Unutilized amount. Unutilized amount towards the decrease in the value of investment. Are you all clear with this? Look at question number 12, exercise. Page 141. Understand this completely first? So this type of question can come for 2 or 3 marks in exams. Rest all are long questions. 10, 11, 13, 14. Disha. 10, 11, 13, 14 from this chapter will not come in exams. We'll be practicing them only for chapter 5 and 6. Again, chapter 5 and 6 there is lot of practice of this kind examples. So on Monday I'll be doing 13th example. One you'll try on your own. The rest you'll try in homework. And we'll start with the next chapter. There is going to be a similar practice in the next chapter. Okay. One more thing here. If there is fixed capital method, then instead of capital account, you transfer it to which account? Current. If fixed capital method is maintained, then like we did in second chapter, all adjustments do it in current account. So these reserves and losses will also get transferred to partners. Capital will remain same. Question 12. Alay and Sanket are the partners of a partnership firm. Profit and loss sharing ratio among them is 2:1. This is which ratio? Total ratio. The following are the balances in the books of the firm. Profit and loss account in bracket clearly given debit balance. Means accumulated profit or accumulated loss? Debit balance means it's an accumulated loss. In the next chapters it would come on the assets. Are you all clear with that? Yes. Once again I am reading the question be attended. Alay and Sanket are the partners of a partnership firm. Be attentive. Next topic also I have to discuss today only. Yes. Alay and Sanket are the partners of a partnership firm. Profit and loss sharing ratio among them is 2:1. Whole ratio. As on 31/3/17, following are the balances in the books of a firm. The profit and loss account is given debit balance means it's an accumulated loss. Reserve fund will have which balance? Credit balance. Workers profit sharing fund, it's a liability, it will not be distributed. Profit sharing fund, I made you write the note, it's a liability, it will not be distributed between the partners. Accident compensation fund, credit balance. So first item will come here in second category. Second and fourth item will come here in the first category. But we'll pass separate journal entries, individual entries. On the above date, Alay and Sanket decided to change their profit and loss ratio to 1:1. That is new ratio, but no relevance here because we have to distribute it in old ratio. It just means that reconstruction is taking place. And because reconstruction is taking place, we have to transfer the reserves. And then a claim of 6,000 is outstanding payable to workers against workers' accident compensation fund. Now, as I said to you, that in workmen compensation fund, we will distribute only unclaimed amount. How much is workmen compensation fund? How much is workmen compensation fund? 21,000. How much claim is outstanding? 6,000. How much will remain unclaimed? 15,000. So against that 21,000 write down minus 6,000 is equal to 15,000 to be distributed. Raise your hand who did not understand this. All are clear with that? So make the format of journal
How many
one page. Journal entries in the books of partnership firm. Now, first item is profit and loss accounts debit balance. To close it, we have to reverse and credit. And partners capital, we have to debit in old ratio. So here, first entry write down Alay's capital account debit. How much is profit and loss accounts debit balance? 18,000 into, see in the beginning what is the old ratio? 2:1. So 18,000 into 2/3, 12,000.
Yes.
Raise your hand who did not understand this. 18,000, do you find P&L accounts debit balance? Partners capital account you debit in old ratio. In the first paragraph, what is the old ratio? So 18,000 into 2/3 will be borne by Alay. Understood that? Sanket's capital account debit. Ruth, how will we get this amount? $18,000 into 1/3, that is 6,000. To profit and loss account 18,000. Did everyone understand this?
Yes, sir.
Raise your hand who is not clear with it still. What is the confusion?
Use credit funds.
Profit and loss account has debit balance, so we close it, will reverse and credit, and will distribute it between the partners in old ratio 2/3 and 1/3. Did you understand this? You will transfer it to partners capital. Will come in the second category. Anyone else still not clear with this? Are you clear with this concept? Being accumulated loss distributed in old ratio. Now, what is the next item? Reserve fund. That will come in first category or second category? First. It is a credit balance. So to close it, you will reverse and debit. Reserve fund account debit. What is the amount?
27,000.
27,000.
Sure.
Are you all clear with this?
Yes.
So what will be credit? To Allies capital account, how will you find the amount?
27,000 into 2 by 3.
27,000 into 2/3, 18,000, and to Sanket's capital account,
27,000 into 1 by
27,000 into 1/3, 9,000. Okay, so partners capital means you don't have to straight away write partners capital account. You have to write respective individual partners capital account and distribute that amount in old ratio. Any confusions? B. Reserve fund distributed in old ratio. Now third one, workers' profit sharing fund shall we distribute or not? No. It's a liability. So write the note in the particulars column itself. Workers' profit sharing fund is a liability and not a reserve. Full stop. It will not be distributed. It is a part of your solution in exams. If you don't write, if suppose 2 marks question come and there are 4 items, half mark will be deducted for this. You will write this note. Okay. Fourth, accident compensation fund, but how much will we distribute? Only 15,000 because 6,000 has become our liability. So same first category, it has a credit balance, to close it we will reverse and debit. Workmen compensation fund account debit. Are you understanding any of the entries? How do you get that amount? Yes? Keep silence over here. Krishna? What are you doing, Smana, in the class? I don't understand. You are not following anything what we are doing in any of the entries. We are distributing the things between the partners in old ratio 2/3, 1/3. Simple thing, you are not able to answer that this 15,000 will be distributed in 2/3, 1/3 ratio. You are simply copying the things or trying to concentrate also what is going on. Allies capital account 15,000 into 2/3, 10,000. To Sanket's capital account 15,000 into 1/3. Silence over there. 10,000. Sorry, 5,000. Being written addition on it. Did you all understand this concept? Now give the heading of third topic in summary. Revaluation of assets and liabilities. Revaluation of assets and liabilities. Yes, be attentive now. Suppose the same partnership firm 3:2:1, now changing to 1:2:3. In past, let us say 4 years ago, they purchased a building of 50 lakhs. Listen carefully, past 4 years ago, they purchased a building of 50 lakhs. Today its value is 70 lakhs. Today that building's value is 70 lakhs. So, what is the profit? 20 lakhs. Should the building is not sold. Should the profit of 20 lakhs, Amruta, should she get 3/6 share or 1/6?
3/6.
Who will say 1/6? 1/3. No, but the profit sharing ratio is 3:2:1, not is 1:2:3. Why 1/6? Why new ratio? Building they purchased in past. Ratio has changed, but that is the logic. Amruta will say that 3 years ago when we invested the money in building, my share was 3/6. In future, if any increase take place, then you give me 1/6. But right now, until the changes have not taken place in the partnership firm, she deserves a share of 3/6 only. Yes, after 1 year, if it becomes 80 lakhs, then further in the 10 lakhs, she deserves only 1/6. But in past, if any increase has taken place, then her share in that should be 3/6. So what the partners do is, whenever the reconstruction takes place, they value the assets and liabilities again, which is called revaluation, so that no one has any injustice, no one faces any injustice. Justice is done to all the partners. Okay. Amruta may raise a question that in future, whenever you sell the building, if you don't value it right now, then 50 lakhs building after a few years, if you sell it for 90 lakhs, then 40 lakhs will be distributed only in 1:2:3 ratio. So even today's increase, what has taken place, that will go in the ratio of only 1/6. So she says that right now we are doing the reconstruction. Let us find the value of all our assets and liabilities again and present a new balance sheet with the new values. In that, if there is a profit, I'll get it. If there is a loss, I'm ready to bear it. Simultaneously, maybe there is a position that there is a machinery, 10 years old machinery. In balance sheet, it is appearing at 10 lakhs. But today its value is only 1 lakh. Hardly they can use it for 1 or 2 more years. After that, it has to be sold for scrap. So other partners may say that there is a loss of 9 lakh in this machinery. So right now, let us value it at 1 lakh only. In future, when we sell it, otherwise they all will have to bear the loss in the ratio of 3:2:1. So normally what is done is at the time of reconstruction, you find the value of all your assets and liabilities again. That is why we call it as revaluation. And whatever is a profit or loss on each of them, you distribute between the partners again in which ratio? Old ratio. Understood that? For recording this, for accounting of it, we open an account which is called revaluation account, or it is also called as profit and loss adjustment account. All of you repeat, Valuation. Speak it together. Revaluation, not revolution. Okay, whenever I ask you, it should not be pronounced as revolution, it should be pronounced as revaluation. And in exams, don't get confused if they ask you profit and loss adjustment. The name is different, the concept is same, because all the questions we will be writing revaluation only. So in exams, don't get confused. What is this new thing out of syllabus suddenly asked in the exams? It is the other name of revaluation account. Now, how to do the accounting? It is very, very simple. If there is any profit, or gain or income, then you will credit revaluation account. If there is any loss or expense, then you will debit revaluation account. And the other effect, whatever effect remains, means if you credit, then which effect will remain? Debit. If you debit, then which effect will remain? Credit. That other effect you will give to the concerned asset or liability. Like I right now said, building's value from 50 lakhs it has become 70 lakhs. Is it a profit or a loss? Profit. How much profit? 20 lakhs. You'll credit? The other effect means debit effect. You give to the concerned asset building. Means the journal entry will be building account debit 20 lakhs to revaluation account 20 lakhs. The other example which I gave you, machinery. 10 lakhs, now 1 lakh. Profit or loss? Loss. How much loss? 9 lakhs. So, debit revaluation. What is the other effect? Credit. Your debit revaluation means the other one is credit. Then you give to the concerned asset, that is machinery. So revaluation account debit to machinery account. Understood that? Get on this up till here. Who is not clear with this? Raise your hand. If there is any profit or gain or income, credit or incomes and gains, you'll credit revaluation account. If there is any loss or expense, debit or expenses and losses, you'll debit evaluation account. The other effect you'll give for the concerned asset or okay. Like I said, building 50 lakhs, now 70 lakhs, there is a profit of 20 lakhs. So for 20 lakhs you'll credit evaluation, but what will you debit? Building account. For machinery there was a loss of 9 lakhs. 10 lakhs machinery, now 1 lakh. Loss means you'll debit evaluation account with 9 lakh. What will you credit? Machinery account. Did you understand this? Anyone else who is not clear with this? Now as I discussed, that the final profit or loss of each of this, you should distribute it between the partners in which ratio? Right on below that. The final balance of revaluation account, ready here? The final balance of revaluation account in bracket, profit or loss will be distributed between the partners in old ratio. Now be attentive. If there is profit, then would revaluation account have debit balance or credit balance? Profit means it will have credit balance. What will you do to close it? Debit. So write down revaluation account debit to partners capital account in bracket old ratio. Okay, you will distribute it in old ratio. B, if there is a loss finally, then revaluation, would it have debit balance or a credit balance? Debit balance. So to close it, you will reverse and credit to revaluation account. And what will you debit? Partners capital account in old ratio. Understood that?
Yes.
Now listen carefully, 8-9 things I'll ask you and raise your hand. Following this logic, what would be the journal entry? Raise your hand. Increase in the value of an asset. Listen carefully. Increase in the value of an asset. Based on this concept, what entry will you pass? Increase in the value of an asset. Ruta? No. This is a final profit or loss I am talking about. I am talking about this entry based on these 3 points only. No. Janvi? Asset account debit to revaluation. Increase in the value of an asset, is it a profit or a loss?
Profit.
So you will credit
Revaluation.
and asset concerned you will
Debit.
listen carefully. Decrease in the value of liability. Think it and tell me what journal entry will you pass. Decrease in the value of liability. The way? To liability. Yes, be attentive. It's wrong. Decrease in the value of liability, is it our profit or loss?
Profit.
Liability has gone down, we have to pay less amount. Liability has gone down, we have to pay less amount, it is our profit. So you will credit revaluation and what will you debit? Liability account debit to
Revaluation.
decrease in the value of asset. Raise your hand. Decrease in the value of an asset. Renuka?
Revaluation account to liability.
Decrease in asset, is it a profit or a loss? So revaluation account debit and what will you credit the other effect to? Asset account. Increase in the value of liability. Parik?
Revaluation account debit to liability.
Yes, liability has gone up, means it is our loss. We have to pay more amount. Increase in the value of liability is our loss. So, revaluation account debit to liability account. For bad debts, bad debt reserve and discount reserve, normal entry, all the three are our losses. So, revaluation account debit to bad debts reserve to discount reserve. Devyajit, repeat.
Revaluation to bad debt to discount.
Both of you concentrate what is going on. Further, for outstanding expense and prepaid expense and pre-received incomes, you'll remember the same entry as final accounts, but wherever we have the word expense account and income account, substitute that with revaluation account. Wherever you have the word expense account or income account, substitute with revaluation. What was the journal entry for outstanding expense in final accounts? Expense account debit to outstanding expense account. Now expense account debit will become revaluation account debit to outstanding expense account. Don't make to outstanding revaluation account. Only expense account debit credit or income account debit credit will get substituted with revaluation. What was the entry for outstanding income? Outstanding income will remain as it is. To income will become to revaluation. Prepaid expense. Prepaid expense to expense. Prepaid expense will remain as it is. To expense will become to revaluation. And pre-received income. Now income account debit will become revaluation account debit to pre-received income account. Understood that everyone? Note down the homeworks. Box. Illustration. Ten. And page number, take it out. Page number 118. Do you find this format of journal entry on page 118 and credit the right side? 119? Do you all find that? Just now those entries which I discussed based on this concept, that entries are given here. I want you to write this in the homework notebook without seeing the entry. Means you just see the heading. Like what is the first heading? When there is an increased value of the assets. Don't write the entry, leave the space. Then write the second heading when there is. I don't want the narrations. I don't want the narrations. When there is, just write the heading, leave the space. After doing that, close the textbook and as we did right now, try the entries on your own with pencil and verify it after opening it, did you get it correct or not. So when we start with the questions, you'll be able to identify these entries easily. Got it everyone? And MCQs. The chapter will be over on Monday. So MCQs of this chapter, you'll write it in the homework notebook and come forward. Okay? Tomorrow test of best of luck. Bye everyone.
Bye, sir.